Good evening, boys and girls, and welcome back to another video. If you're new, my name is Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, and in today's video we're going to be talking about, do loud exhaust really save lives? So sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea, and let us get into the video. So the question for today, do loud pipes really save lives? If I'm honest, I wholeheartedly say fucking yes. Oh, pardon me. Now, a lot of people will turn around and say to you, no, loud exhausts don't save lives, they just make you sound obnoxious and, you know, antisocial and blah 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 blah. And to an extent, yes, you'd probably be right if you're one of those snobby bastards that lives in Mayfair. But if you're a normal human being in a real world situation, having a loud exhaust just gives you a little bit more presence on the road. It allows people to know you're there. It gives you a little bit more breathing space because people will be a bit more apprehensive to get too close to you. They will be a lot more aware of what's going on around them rather than just literally being completely and utterly oblivious to what's going on. Because I'm not going to lie, a lot of car drivers are exactly like that. I'm not saying all car drivers are, but a lot of them are. And okay, there are a fair few car drivers that are also bikers, and you guys probably aren't as bad. Well, I don't think you will be, because you'll know what to look out for. But the point I'm trying to make is that there's far more car drivers on the roads who either don't pay any attention to what's going on around them, are too busy having a fucking conversation on the hands-free kit, or they're too busy talking to someone in the car with them. And when shit like that happens, it causes problems. My concerns arise when people are too busy conversing, not concentrating on the road. That might make me sound a bit anal and a bit snobbish, but if I'm honest, I really don't care. The fact of the matter is that a lot of accidents these days are caused by people not concentrating. And I know what's going to come now. A lot of people are going to be, oh, how can you concentrate on riding, Lee, when you're too busy talking to the camera? And how can you be concentrating on the road if you're talking into your microphone and blah 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 blah? Well, to all you people, it's called experience. You know, if you've got the experience of being on the road, whether it be on 2 wheels or 4, for as long as I have, you will know when it's safe to talk and when it's not. Like, for example, it's perfectly safe for me to talk now because there's nothing coming towards me. Well, now there is, but initially there was nothing coming towards me. There's nothing coming at me from either side, and I can see what's going on all around me. Now, there are some people who would see that as being arrogant, but believe me, if I wanted to be arrogant, I would be, but I'm not. You guys know me well enough, well, you should know me well enough by now to know that I'm not an arrogant kind of guy. If I'm right, and I know I'm right, then I'm going to say I'm right. If I'm not 100% sure that I'm right, then I will say I think I am right. I'm not going to turn around and say to people, do you know what, even if I'm wrong, I'm fucking right. A bit like a guy that I was talking about in a video about a week or so ago, about, you know, the video I did that when I said you can't teach stupid. The guy in that video was complete and utter bellend, and that is something and someone I am not. And I'll actually link that video in the card above so that you guys can go and see that, so you can understand what I mean by that particular reference. But anyway, I do truly think that loud exhausts do save lives. I mean, okay, they might be slightly obnoxious late at night or early in the morning. Okay, fine, fair point. But a lot of exhaust manufacturers these days do give you the option of putting a removable baffle or silencer into the end of the exhaust to quieten it down a tiny bit. Whether it actually does quieten the exhaust down or not is, again, another one of those questionable choices or questionable theories. I personally don't really know if they do quieten the bikes down at all. In all the bikes that I've ridden over the years, none of my bikes have had either standard exhausts or exhaust with removable baffles. Why? it's just a thing. I am very much a huge believer that loud exhausts save lives, and there are going to be a lot of people who are going to say no, they don't. And in all fairness, okay, you're entitled to your opinion. You know, you do you, I'll do me. No hard feelings, no feelings have been hurt, no one gets upset. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's entitled to their opinion, which is obviously the way the world works these days. But it has to be said, and I have to be honest when I say this, I absolutely hate standard exhausts on every bike I've ever seen or heard. I mean, standard exhausts are one thing if they look decent. Like for example on the Ducati Panigale V2. Okay, yeah, it's a standard exhaust, but it looks fairly decent. Yes, the sound is fucking awful, but it still looks okay. I mean, there's going to be people on the market that are going to be able to, you know, core it and take all the baffle out and make it loud, but keep the standard look. You know, there's going to be shit tons of companies that are going to start popping up that can do that. You know, that's all well and good. But when it comes to, you know, your Japanese bikes, like your Hondas, your Yamahas, your Kawasaki's, your Suzuki's especially, and yes, Suzuki 2020 GSX R1000 RR, I am talking about you. Your standard exhaust looks like a fucking dustbin. And it's true to be said of a lot of other brands. Honda's standard exhaust on their new Fireblade looks fucking janky. Yamaha with their R6 and their R1 exhausts look fucking hideous. Kawasaki, their exhausts look fucking hideous as well. A lot of the standard exhausts these days, I mean, some of them look alright and some of them sound okay-ish, but far often than not, the exhausts on most standard exhaust systems sound absolutely fucking terrible. I mean, for example, I've already touched upon the 2020 GX 1000 exhaust, the R1 and R6 exhausts, but Aprilia, I think I've got it spot on. They actually put a full Akrapovic exhaust on their 2019 or 2020 Aprilia RSV4 RF, I think it is, or even the 1100 factory. I can't quite remember which, but it's one of the two. And it's got like a twin cam kind of system in it, where it sounds really quiet and docile below, I don't know, 10,000 RPM, something like that, and then it absolutely bursts into life. And if anyone's seen Lamb Chop's first impressions video on the RSV4 1100 factory, it's well worth a watch, because he rides the bike in such a way that you can tell the difference. And it's a bit of an eye-opener really, because I think Aprilia have done it really well, if I'm honest, when it comes to that particular exhaust. I know the new the 2020 Honda Fireblade, is it SP or Fireblade RRR? From what I've seen in the videos and the pictures I've seen, it does look rather nice. But for the love of God, Honda, why did you put 3 R's in the name? Honda Fireblade RRR. So every time someone says it, like a dealer or an owner says, I've got the new Honda Fireblade RRR, people are go, what's the matter with you, bruv? What are you laughing for? Or they're going to say, what, you're doing your doing an impression of Count off Sesame Street or something mental like that. Honda Fireblade 1000 It's like, you feeling alright? Like, do you need to lie down, or I don't know, need a peppermint or something? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I do think that in a lot of cases there are going to be manufacturers, both as motorcycle manufacturers and obviously third-party manufacturers, they'll soon start making exhausts that work and go really well with different varieties of bikes and so on. It's just a matter of time, do you know what I mean? Like for example, as well as Akropovich, Arrow are very synonymous with exhaust systems for Triumphs. They're also synonymous with some Hondas, not all. Usually that sort of thing is left to the Yoshimuras. No, sorry, Yoshimura is Suzuki, innit? Honda do a lot of stuff with Akropovich, and I've even seen some Fireblades with Termignoni exhausts on them. How good they sound or how well they work, I honestly don't know, but I think it's only marginal losses or gains between brands. But literally, if you're going to talk about exhausts only in terms of the noise they make and the sound they make, obviously, like I said, there are a few brands that are synonymous with particular brands of bikes. For example, ouch, hurt me bollocks, Aprilia, synonymous with Akropovich. Honda, synonymous with Akropovich and Arrow. Triumph, synonymous with Arrow. Obviously Ducati is synonymous with Termignoni and now moved across to Akropovich with all their new Panigales. Yamaha, again, you can have any number of exhausts. You can have with Yamaha, they are more synonymous with Akropovich, just like Honda are, but a lot of people are now switching to Austin Racing, SC Projects, Competition Works and all that sort of stuff, which is all fine and dandy if it works well and it looks good. But the one thing I do know, whichever bike I get next, regardless of the brand, there will be an aftermarket exhaust thrown on it. Whether it's a slip-on or a full system will remain to be seen, but on the whole, I am definitely going to get an aftermarket exhaust on whichever bike I decide to get. But you know, the question does remain if loud exhausts or loud cans, loud pipes, whatever you want to call them, save lives. And like I keep saying, there are going to be people that are going to be like, no, 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 they won't, or they don't save lives, blah 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 blah, you know, proper no sayers. No, I don't care what you say, you listen to what I've got to say. Your exhaust aren't going to save you if you're in an accident. It might not save me from having an accident, but it will make people more aware of my presence. It will make people know that I'm there. It will give people something to look out for should I go flying past them for whatever reason. You know, that's the whole reason why people say loud pipes save lives, because at the end of the day, I think they do. And by all means, boys and girls, if you've got a difference of opinion, or you've got a story to tell which involves people hearing you and avoiding an accident and whatever because of your exhausts or something along those lines, you know, feel free to drop it in the comments down below and we can discuss it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them things, it's a very much a grey area. You know, track days in the UK only allow you to run an exhaust which I think a max 4,000 RPM only hits like 98 decibels, maybe 101, something like that. For my bike that I'm on right now, for me to do a track day, I would have to put my standard exhausts back on, and that will drop the decibel level from like 112 down to about 97, which is all well and good, but I don't really want to do that, if I can help it. But that is definitely a video for another day. But there's one thing I would like to say to you lovely people, that your support and your viewership is greatly appreciated. I enjoy having you guys along for the ride. I enjoy getting the comments, getting the subscribers, getting the likes. You know, all that stuff is really greatly appreciated, and it gives me the motivation and the want to keep making videos. I mean, okay, I know they've been a bit sparse just lately, but that's because life has got in the way. But now, you know, I'm back in the flow of things. I've had time to do a couple of videos, and I've actually had something to talk about, this topic being one of them. But you know, guys, I just can't help but say thank you. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support that I'm getting. And yes, I know I'm only a small channel, but even small channels need help, and I thank you so much for all that support that I'm getting. It's a weird one, especially with the way COVID-19's been and such like. And then you got hit by a fucking undercover police car, which would not have gone down well. You know, all the love and support that I'm getting, it's so greatly appreciated, and I can't thank you guys enough. I really can't. And as always, boys and girls, if you like what you're seeing, you want to see more, make sure you tap that like button, smash that bell, so that we can keep the content coming. But for now, I have indeed waffled on enough. So this is Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, saying look after yourselves, look after each other, stay safe on the road, stay away from COVID-19, and as always, adios.